Okay, hold up. This team is insane. I know I made half a video talking about how well I think the Bulls are going to mesh together, and then a full video on Lonzo and the jumps I think he'll take this year, but I really didn't think this team will be this insane. While I do understand that the sample size is only 4 games, and the competition really hasn't been that great, with playing the Pistons twice without Cade Cunningham, playing the Pelicans without Zion, and then playing the Toronto Raptors, who is a pretty good team, but still not really up there when you think of them as the upper echelons of even the East. But so far, it's not who they've played, it's how they've played that's really impressed me. From Zach LaVine looking way more alert and involved on defense, Lonzo looking like a damn defensive player of the year, just within every single passing lane, playing great one-on-one defense on everybody, being a great catch and shoot option. DeMar being in a role where he looks extremely comfortable, not being the #1 guy and being surrounded by a bunch of shooters all the time, so he has open space to work in the mid-range and at the rim. It's just overall been amazing, and I want to get into it, so let's go. But before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time I post. I feel like this year is going to be a great year for this channel, and I'd love to have you guys along for the journey. Alright, so the first guy I want to talk about is Zach LaVine, but I'm going to make it quick since I want to make a full video doing a deep dive on how well he's been playing and all the improvements he's made on his game.
I love you, Poppy.
But just to make it quick, Zach LaVine has looked so much more alert on defense, so much more involved on that end, and then on the offensive end, he doesn't have to spend as much energy with DeMar DeRozan and Lonzo Ball being the main ball handlers right now, having the ball in their hands a lot in the pick and roll. Zach has had so much off-ball opportunities, catch and shoot, cutting back door, that he doesn't have to expend that much energy. He doesn't have to make decisions in the pick and roll as much. He can focus on being a complete scorer, and that's what he's been. He's just shown that he's one of the more transcendent scorers in the game right now, doing it off the ball, on ball, from the pick and roll, off the catch, handoffs, just any single way you need it to be done, Zach has been able to do it. And it's just looked like with the way he's going, and if the Bulls can keep up this level of play, maybe even win 55 games to 60 games, even though that's pretty high-balling it for this team, he could be an MVP candidate, or at least a dark horse MVP candidate in my opinion. But I'll do an even deeper dive and show how he's been able to do this in a later video, probably coming later this week. The next guy I want to talk about is DeMar DeRozan, somebody I think a lot of people had a lot of questions of how well he'll fit with this team. But so far, he's fit like a damn puzzle piece. He's been the second option on this team so far. When Zach is off, he's been the guy that's gotten their offense going. He's been a great pick and roll option with Vucevic. He's still taking those tough mid-range jumpers, but you allow him to do that because he can make those. He's still taking about 1.5 3-pointers a game, which isn't something that you want him to do, but you know, for people to respect him, I guess he needs to take those, and he's making about the same clip that he normally has for his entire career, and I don't think you'll ever see that really improve. But with a lineup of just straight shooters, when you have somebody like Lonzo, LaVine, Vucevic, and Patrick Williams out there with him, he looks so comfortable with having so much space around him to do what he needs to, collapsing the defense and either passing out to an open shooter or just having his way at the rim or just hitting shots in the post. He's just been a great addition to this team, and he looks so comfortable, and finally he's on a team on the perfect role I think he needs to have, where he's not the #1 guy and you don't have to look to him every single game to have a big game. The teams aren't zoned in on him specifically, so he can go out there and just play. The next guy I want to talk about is Nikola Vucevic, whose offense has been off to a pretty slow start this season, which isn't too much of a concern for me. He'll find his way into this offense, mostly because the Bulls have been looking for him to get him going off the pick and roll, trailer for threes, pick and roll threes, just overall trying to get him going. But when he doesn't give you much on offense, he doesn't give you anything else on defense either way, so he's kind of just out there. So I like that the Bulls kind of experimented a little bit with Patrick Williams at center at times, and Vucevic hasn't been able to get going. But when he's been in the game, he's been a really good big body for the pick and roll situation with both Zach, DeMar, and Lonzo. Whenever he does get the ball at the rim, he's been able to just put it in. His rebounding has always been there, and he hasn't really fallen off at all this season. But overall, once his offense does get going, this will give the Bulls an even bigger weapon, and I think their offense will be jump-started even more, since I don't really think we've seen their offense explode like it's capable of with the amount of weapons they've had because of Vucevic's offensive struggles so far in the season. But give him some time, we'll definitely see this team explode on offense, and he can be the center of that. The next guy I want to talk about is Patrick Williams, who coming into this season didn't have the expectations to put up big numbers, but he did have some pretty big expectations on his shoulder to be that great wing defender that Chicago Bulls will throw at the best wing players in the league like LeBron, Kevin Durant, Paul George, etc. And while he hasn't played some of those top tier guys, I think the best player so far he's played in Brandon Ingram, but so far he has not disappointed at all on that end of the ball. He's played some great defense overall for the Bulls, and to be honest, his offense so far as just being a spot-up shooter and somebody that, you know, can definitely make some open shots has been pretty good for the first 4 games. While you don't expect him to hold up on 60% shooting and 60% from 3, you expect him to still be around the high 30s to low 40s with the small volume that he'll be shooting. The next guy I'm going to talk about is the guy I made a whole video on, Lonzo Ball, who so far has been amazing for the Bulls. Now, I did think he was going to be a little bit more aggressive on offense, but with LaVine and DeRozan taking a bulk of the offense in their own hands, really, Zoe has just been the guy that's been there to set them up, make his quick passes like he normally does. He doesn't really hold the ball for that long, hit his catch and shoot jumpers, and be a complete monster on defense. Like, I thought it would have been maybe an all-NBA defensive second team, first team type of performance. No, he's going for defensive player of the year type performances the way he's going right now. He's a complete lock, their anchor down there. And while the Bulls' interior defense isn't all that great, they do make up for it with the effort and the sometimes IQ that both Lonzo and Caruso have shown on that end of the ball. And as a passer, I know a lot of people have said he can't run a half-court offense. While the Bulls have been one of the better teams in the half-court this season. So far the Chicago Bulls have been an amazing team. They've played extremely well together, and while it's a small sample size and I don't want to overreact, this is exactly what I expected from them. Actually, it's more than what I expected from them before, and they just look very ready to come in this league and take it by storm. And I definitely think that these guys are playing way above their means. They're in the perfect position, perfect roles that they need to be in on this team. They're way better defensively than I thought they'd ever be, because I thought that would have been the biggest problem coming into the season, but apparently not. So, with that being said, let me know if you guys think that they'll drop off when they start playing better teams in the league, or, you know, they actually start going up or actually proving themselves that they are one of the better teams in the league. But with that being said, this is FLB. Join my Discord. We're gonna be streaming soon. I'd love to have you guys in there, pull you guys in, do some one take goes, see what your take is in so far in the season, just talk to you guys. And to do that, you'd have to join my Discord and follow my Twitch, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. With that being said, it's FLB, that's my time, and I'm out.